Hello Internet, today I'm giving away a free live pack which contains 4 instrument racks that work well together to make up a jungle soundscape. Part of the challenge for me here was to try to emulate natural sounds using nothing but the operator synth inside Live. So absolutely no audio samples have been used here, all sounds are being generated by Live's operator synth, although I have used some MIDI effects to introduce randomness to the pitch and timing of the animal calls. So the first rack is called the weather rack and generates wind and rain sounds. Obviously a lot of noise signals are being used here to emulate the sounds themselves, with filters and LFOs being used to change the speed and depth of the wind and rain. The second rack is called the birds rack and generates bird calls. It's a 2-chain rack containing pretty simple operator patches. Simple sine waves with pitch modulation are enough to do the trick here. The macros at the front give control over the pitch of the calls as well as the speed and depth of that pitch modulation. It's also worth noting here that I'm using the note length device with its trigger set to note off to get the second bird call to sound out after the first one. Next up is the creatures rack, which works on a very similar premise to the bird rack, although the operator patches are a little bit more complex here. I've tried to make these sounds more kind of amphibious, but they've come out sounding a little bit dinosaur-y. And lastly we have the bug rack, which generates a variety of sounds including cicada calls, wings flapping, and the sound of an angry fly. Quite complex operator patches again here, with the macros giving you control over the pitch bend and timbre of the cicada call, the volume and speed of the bug wings, and the volume and anger of the fly. I'm pretty happy with how this pack's turned out. Seems pretty useful for developing soundscapes for visual media such as games, film, web video. Just using the rack macros, you can conjure a pretty wide variety of sounds and can easily create an evolving soundscape using automation. Download link is in the description for this, so give it a go and let me know what you think.